So we're going to get into messaging portion of the Webex app today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk through some options here. So let me share my screen here. And then what we're going to do is obviously you can see the messaging app. This is a kind of demo trial account that I set up for these purposes. Um, and what I normally like to cover as part of the messaging app is just a very straightforward, simple overview of how the app works, and some things that you can do. One of the biggest questions that I always get from people is how do I change the dark mode? So I'm going to cover that first. If I click on my little circle up at the top and I go down to settings and I come in here, there's a appearance option right here. And I can change the theme from the default dark to a bunch of different options. And you also can change some skin tone options, which sometimes people ask about too. So you can change that there. From here, I'll hit cancel so that doesn't apply. I will see the messaging options here, and I'll see access to all spaces, direct spaces, all direct spaces, public. And then if I message a person, which we're going to use Kim as an option, I'm going to say send a direct message, type in that person's name, and then you'll see them here. I can send a message over. I can share files with them, send a GIF, I can make a call. I have a bunch of different options there. So this is just a one-to-one space. If I right click on Kim's name here, I can also add that to favorites. If I add it to favorites, it's going to bump them up here. So I see them under my favorite options. When Kim sends me a message, it's actually going to show as a little circle next to the name. And it will pop up there. So if she's still watching, she can send me a message and we'll see it pop up there. The other thing that I can do too is if I right click on the space and it's assigned underneath a team, see Kim wrote another message there, it popped up with a blue circle. I know that's how I know unread messages are available. But if it's part of a team, I can go to the team space for that option. And I can also create or move to a certain section too. So you have some options there. If I click the plus sign again, it gives me some options. So if I do have WebEx calling, I'll also see an option that allows me to send a text message, which I can go through and I can send a text message. It allows me to send texts from inside of the space and message anyone outside of the organization or internally too. That's kind of a cool thing. I can create spaces, which usually spaces are used to have a large or larger number of people meeting to talk about things. Another thing that I can do though is create additional places and sections that align to that space. So I could have a sales space or a finance space or whatever you want, and then I could align additional things under that space, which is another kind of a cool thing. Inside of the app, what I can do is, like I was saying earlier, attach files, screenshots, change the font options here, put some smiley faces in, some emojis, do GIFs and stickers. See some of those. I can at people into different groups. And then I also have this option if I have the meetings application to start a personal room meeting. And that will start a WebEx session too with those individuals. So that is a pretty standard overview of some of the options that I have inside of the app. And I think that's all I want to talk about today. So appreciate your time, appreciate you watching this.